Hey, mental health professionals. So I wanted to do a quick video on 2 tips before you decide to hire team members in your practice. So there's really 2 components, really 3 components when it comes to hiring in your practice. And so what I usually like to do is I like to work on the financials first to see what your expenses are, what your revenues are, what you can potentially invest in outsourcing or hiring on team members. And then we bring in an HR professional to help you get the consultation you need to know what are your compliance responsibilities are going to be. So to hire good people, you need to have good employment, proposition. So a large portion of that is going to depend on how well you communicate, what you'll be offering in terms of compensation. What type of approach are you going to make? Are you leaning more towards bringing on contractors, or are you looking to bring on employees, which are 2 different pay structures, 2 different tax treatments? So you want to understand the differences between the 2 before you just jump the gun. So there is base pay around, fees per sessions, and then how much gross profit you need to be left with to pay, your overhead expenses, and obviously paying yourself after everything is one and done. So if you're going towards that pay a percentage, of each session strategy, then you can hire therapists and tell them, their pay will be X amount of dollars of the fees they bring in during the month. So I've seen 60-40 splits. I've seen 50-50 splits, 70-30 splits. So whatever you come up with, make sure you stick to one type of solution. And then this is a guaranteed way to make sure you can always cover, your people's salaries, and that they're being paid essentially for the clients that they're bringing into the practice. So you want to be sure that the balance covers your overhead, rent, utilities, expenses, things like internet, Wi-Fi, telephone, electricity, all of that good stuff. And then any other professional fees. So like legal services. I see a lot of notary services, accounting services, HR consulting services. So just be sure that you understand the cost, the overhead costs for those things. Now, if you're paying a base wage and then creating like a variable compensation component to it, or some type of fee structure where it's more than the base wage that you're going to pay out, then you're covering everyone's base salary